up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. They are back. Ready to Love is back, y'all. We've been anticipating, and it was definitely worth, the wait. Ready to Love is season 11, episode 1. We are in the D. From the D. From the D. Yeah, that's where we at. We all the way in the D. Did y'all enjoy the D? I did. I did enjoy the D. I'm excited about the season. Let's get into it. Where do we start? Where do we start over here? Y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's do the things that we need to do. It's very important that you go ahead over there, hit that like button. What's up, Shayna? Shayna's in the house. Shayna also covers Ready to Love. So when you leave this live, slide on over to Shayna_MCD and catch her review on the show as well. That's what I'm going to do. It's hard to watch all the reviews and keep all the notes and things. So usually after I'm done, I go ahead and see what everybody had to say. Did you enjoy the first episode, Shayna? I did. It was giving everything it was supposed to give as far as I'm concerned. Where do we start? We're going to start at the Ford. How do you say it? Ford Pickett plant. It's the birthplace of the Model T. That's why, I'm back here with the Model Ts, because for me, I like the whole GM history is, close to my heart because, I was raised in a GM family. My entire family, worked for GM at some point or another. I feel like I was probably one of the only ones that didn't work for GM, but I definitely reaped the benefits of what GM did, for building this country, honey. We need to get back to it. I think it's going to be a good season too, Shayna. These ladies came over here ready and prepared and so did these men. So we're going to get into it. The birthplace of the Model T. I think this was a beautiful venue. And for whatever reason, it made it really beautiful place to shoot. It's a dope venue. They got private rentals there, photo shoot rentals. You could go over there and check out, the website, because I did. It's a pretty place. FYI, for all of you guys that's looking for something interesting to do, they have events over there. $40, a ticket. You can take a lady out and do something different outside of the norm. Get a little history about the place of, Detroit. Whether you live there or not, I feel like when you live in a place, you tend to not take advantage of the things that are around. They were in there like, hey, I didn't even know about this place. Yes, well, here you go. And they got an education. They got a workshop for the youth. What did they say about the workshop? It's introducing students to automotive engineering through a historical hands-on lens. I think it's important for kids to be actively, you raise your children and, in hopes of them going off to school and, college and things. For me, technical school is every bit of college. I feel like technical schools are slept on because people have an idea of what they think university is supposed to look like. So these kids are going to have to get out here now and learn how to do some things, because the way the world is working right now, if you don't have some type of skill set, you're going to be stuck begging corporate to let you have a job. And if what funky diver Neva say, black like this, not like this, or whichever direction it's supposed to be anyway. Shout out to the Ford Pickett plan for educating the people and the young people as well. You're trying to get your son into a Votech. Yes, because it's, listen, people coming out of here, HVAC and electricians and things. And, when you need something fixed, who you gonna call? You know what I'm saying? So, and it's, it's not cheap to get these things done. I think, like I said, you have this idea of university, and I'm not knocking it. I think there's, people who belong in university and people who maybe should go the route of tech. I always feel very proud, though, when I see these things that are GM related. They can't take your skills away. Listen, when I was teaching and FYI, my end goal in this career of mine is to open a school of my own. But in this career, when I was teaching, a lot of kids would come in, and my first question to them is always like, why do you want to do this? And their answer a lot of times from some of them is, because I didn't really want to go to real college. And I'm like, well, then you don't belong here, because this is real college. And if you don't, love what you do, you're wasting your time and your money anyway. I love the backdrop, y'all. I hope y'all are giving every bit of, Detroit. This was a fun intro, to the city. Let's get into the stuff, y'all. First in the building, Dominique came through, as she should. She said she was greeted by the ancestors. And I was like, I'm feeling you, girl, because I'm over here, like, feeling the ancestors too, as well. Let's call this episode Inspired by the Ancestors. They brought the kids over there to GM for Picket Plant to find love, or whatever you came here for. I feel like, as for everyone, that reviews the show, they always want love to happen over here. When you come over here to my channel, I don't care if you find love or not. I hope you got a purpose over here. If you find some guy that you like, want to get close to, that's a plus. We like that. You know what I'm saying? And if you find somebody that you want to network with, what's up, Darius? I hear you. I see you. Then that's what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Love your, I guess, child. And, sometimes, every now and then, you're lucky enough to find love. And someone will have a story about how funny and cute it was, how y'all went on this TV show and found each other and skipped off, I don't know, into happily ever after land. That's not the story I believe in, but we don't know. We don't know what's going to go on over here. Anyway, Dominique came over here to find love. Or whatever. She said a man. I'm guessing, love should be attached to it. She's been married before. What's up, Elsid? These people are something. Relax, Elsid. I'm somewhere, when you're from Michigan, this is what you do. This is where I'm from. Like, not at the D, but right next to the D. So we're going to be very sensitive about, I could be in my feelings if I want to. Take it easy, Elsid. Listen, Elsid is going to say it exactly how she means it, and I love that. So be careful. Don't bring in, soft little sensitive feelings over here, because we be talking cash shit. Some of us do. We all do. It is what it is. Prepare to be judged. Let's see. So Dominique is in here, checking the place out. She's a baddie, no surprise there. My only critique, Dominique, is I really didn't like those shiny stockings. I don't know why you did that. Body yaddy yaddy. She's definitely a baddie. The people over here in Detroit know who she is. Who was it? Ashley. Ashley was like, I'm glad to see Dominique here. Yeah, I can see the network. Don't play with that catty stuff. Ladies, it's time to get information, organization. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a revolution. Every time we come over here, we're going to talk about the revolution that needs to be going on right now. Let's start with, coming into this building and networking with whoever it is, that you're supposed to be meeting. So we can all get our money up. Anyway, Bello comes in. I don't know if he came from the ancestors. I feel like it was the producers that sent him over there. Majorette on deck. I'm in the conversation. I'm trying to see what they're saying. Let me focus on my thing. If I don't focus on my thing, I'll get distracted. So y'all carry on as usual, as per usual. El Cid is in charge of the chat. El Cid, do your thing. Anyway, Bello comes in, and apparently he's from a long line of excellence. Synonymous, even when you hear the Bello name, it's synonymous with excellence. That's according to this man. He runs multiple businesses. We don't know what they are. Bello, we didn't hear you say what your business was. You just said that there was multiple businesses. You're successful. That's what you said. We, don't know necessarily whether you're successful or not. So that's to be determined. Um, he said he could sit with politicians, and athletes, and foster strong relationships. Did he? This feels like my resume when I'm writing down, my qualifications. He said he can make it happen, and I said, "What are you making happen?" I'm not really gonna be too hard on people at this point in the game. But what I'm gonna say is, Bello, you came over here and said a whole lot of nothing. That was a whole lot of words. And in this moment, after all that stuff you just said, I feel like I know absolutely nothing. I know you got a thick rump and you like a spicy suit. And that's I like, a nice suit. Like he's a little flashy. Him and Darius have their flashy. You know what I'm saying? It's different, but we see you. I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying, Bello, got my eye on you, sir. Who comes next? Emily. Let's just get this out of the way. Hey, come on. Emily came in there. Child with some titties to the ceiling. She ain't throwing D's on it. She throwing elemental P's on it. Girl, what is going on? That dress is very tight. She says she's a seamstress for the Pistons dancers. I think that's very dope. But girl, I feel like she can't breathe. It was making me so uncomfortable. Whew. Who else came in there? Get me flipping my things around and trying to read the chat and all that. That was rude. But I'm assuming there's a 1-year-old right by my door throwing toys at the floor. Anyway, Steven's 39. He's very cute. He's a teacher. And I love that. He's cute. Sometimes the cute ones come through and they, not giving a lot of personality, but I do like his, right for what we see right now, he's giving a personality, cool, laid back. That's what he says he is. I always appreciate teachers. I feel like they have a very hard time it is with the parameters that they are given to be able to, you become an educator and so you can share your knowledge, and it's fun watching kids learn. So I'm feeling Steven for right now. I don't know who I would match him up with at this point. But we're gonna see. I like his style. I mean, I guess a lot of people, are very opinionated about how he shows up. I personally, like I said, I love it when the guys get to, step outside the box a little bit. He's not crazy. He just has his own sense of style. So it's not like, what the heck has he got on? He's just, figuring out his own way. And I like it. I like the way he's put together. It's giving not fake. You know what I'm saying? I'm not calling nobody fake, but some people come and try to present like as something other than what they are. And I feel like, just based on his, we like the fashions and over here and how you present yourself. How he came over here is, a good looking teacher with a pretty nice sense of style. You wish you wore one of her own designs. You talk about Emily. I wish you would too. And I posted Emily up here in one of her. Well, I don't know if it's one of hers, but she looks beautiful in this picture, and she definitely knows what to do with them titties. So why she had them all crunched up under her chin, and on more than one occasion, Emily. You go to her page and she's got on dresses that she looks absolutely phenomenal in. So, you playing with us, Emily. I'm just saying. I feel like you know better. Hey, who are we talking about? Steven. Dominique is definitely feeling Steven. She thinks he's cute at least. She's leading all in and touching his chin and being very, physical. And if she told the man he was cute, he is. And so there's that. I don't know that it's any more than that. I'm going to tell you why. Because Dominique was married to a professional basketball player. She's in a certain status of man league. And a teacher ain't going to be able to keep up with whatever Dominique is doing over there. And I feel like, unless Bello's standing on business, I don't know about Darius and Dominique. It's just, she already know him. They already know each other. You know, when you in the city and you in the who's who. What's up, Brandon? Christina. He be, you know, the who's who of Detroit. I feel like both Dominique and Darius are a member of that. Do y'all know Bravo? Hey Darius, do you know Bravo? Keita. I love this. Y'all Detroit, y'all all over the place. Everywhere. On. Who's running on? Might be Detroit. I'm just saying. Who else? They have a conversation about children, and Steven like seems ready to have his own children. I like that when you come into this type of situation of dating, and just in dating in general, when you come into the dating world, not necessarily even on a TV show, but you're in a place where he said he teaches seventh graders. So, child, if he could deal with children in middle school age and he still wants to have children, then he really does like kids. But he's ready to have his own children. He said his parents passed away, and you know he's ready for his own legacy. So I want to see Steven find something over here. We'll see. If he don't find it over here by the time he's done here, he gonna find it somewhere. DMs. Good luck finding Steven on social media. I'm not really gonna put in that much work. So you know. Child, if you want to be seen, we over here, Steven. Ina. I'm gonna call her Ina because the lady says she would be preferred to call Ina. Christina Ina. She's 36 and she's a songwriter. I like her voice. Her speaking voice is like sexy and raspy. But we'll get into her a little bit later. Lauren is 6 feet tall. She says she's got 3 really large children. Lauren says she was in marketing, I believe. I know it has something to do with real estate and marketing. This is not a good marketing strategy, girl. Talking about I'm tall and I got 3 big kids. I just feel like there was a different way to say that. It just sounded a little weird. I don't know. Not exciting. Not like how a marketer would do it. Let me get out of your business. Lauren, she likes her man to spin around. I don't know what's up with the spin around thing, but she gets the guy over in her presence, and then she does this thing where she's like, give me a little twirl. Darius is 40 and he's 6'2", and she was standing pretty high over Darius. So, but I know she has heels on. But Darius was here for the spin. But this is the thing. Darius wants you to check out his 360 anyway. All they did was talk about how, he's a bling and he's a this and he does good. And so Darius just was going to absolutely give her a spin. I'm not even mad at her asking Darius for a spin. But Lauren, it should have stopped there. The way these men walk around here now saying pause after every other word, you think they finna be spinning around? And I'm not about to spin around. If somebody asks me to spin around, I'm going to say, you spin first. Then I'll probably not spin after, but this is your game. Darius definitely wants you to check out the swag. Darius is the only one who's heavy-handed with the what? I don't know what y'all saying. He was heavy-handed? What you mean? How was he heavy-handed? I thought he was giving hi. My name is Larry, and I'm a Scorpio. What was he heavy-handed about? I want to know. Anyway, Ashley comes over and enters the conversation. And, now Darius is sandwiched in between 2 very beautiful women, but I feel like he's in his element. That's what he's used to doing. He owns an exotic car dealership. He's a fashion designer. He owns a banquet hall where you can have receptions and bridal showers. He's notoriously flashy, and he's the king of Detroit, according to his resume. Oh, yeah, the hairline. We might as well get into it. Listen, Darius, fire your barber. If he can't make your hairline good and snap it without, what do your real forehead look like? And I mean, this is the thing. He didn't just shave it off, but we don't want to play around with a spray painted hairline. It makes us feel like you maybe not honest. I was watching something. No, I wasn't watching something. I was sliding down my timeline the other day and I saw just recently the NBA is about to ban y'all with them spray on hairlines because somebody rubbed that stuff off for another player's shirt. Get you a good barber. Leave the Beijing alone. Thank you, Shayna. I'm pretty sure I brought that up, but we might as well, like I said, get on to it. Um, Bello, I would just like to point out how Darius had specifics. He named the businesses that he's, allegedly the owner of partnerships. It don't matter. These are his businesses, and these are tangible things we could go see. We could go to the exotic, car dealership and ask about Darius and verify this information. We can't verify things when you say, I've got multiple businesses and I'm very successful. Okay. Well, I'm 5'9" and I'm very skinny. There you go. See how you could just make up anything you want? Oh, well. Ashley said he was well put together. The ladies like Darius. He's whatever energy he's giving off, they really like it. So, I'm not mad at Darius. I'm just mad at this Beijing. Tommy enters the room. Now, Tommy looked good. I really like this suit that Tommy had on, and I was noticing that Tommy did not have a tie on, but he also didn't have his shirt like buttoned all the way up to the neck. He had the, shirt open. It was the right cut of jacket too. Like there's like things that, there's math involved. What's up, Donna? You got to make sure that the lines are lining where they're supposed to. So I liked it on Tommy. His handkerchief in his pocket, kind of made up for him not having a tie on. Yeah, Tommy looks good. He lays down the terms and conditions. So you people over here to go on dates with each other and you're going to do various things in various places. And then you're going to come back to where are we going back to? We don't have a lounge or we don't know where we're going. We were in a vault last season. So wherever y'all are going to have to go meet Tommy and discuss who's your favorite, who's your top, who's your bottoms, who got to go, that kind of thing. Those are the rules. And when you get down to the retreat, that's when shit pops off. Please try not to have too many options. Too late. Too late. They already been to the retreat. Ed and Nicole went to college together. Okay. Well, sometimes people get brought back around in your life for a reason. We don't know yet. She says she had the biggest crush on the planet. That could be a problem, Nicole. You had the biggest crush on the planet on Ed. Does he know that? I mean, I'm getting the feeling that y'all somewhat knew each other. Was he crushing on you? I need to know more about, this relationship. And don't y'all have to say everything. You know what I'm saying? Gas him up too much. I feel like he gets it a lot. Because Ed is fine. Let's be clear. He's got pretty teeth, pretty skin, chocolatey skin, bald head. He ain't hurting for attention. He's probably got a lot of crushes. She says she thought he wouldn't like her back in school because she was a good girl. And I'm like, good like what? She said he was out partying, but I feel like in college, that's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be partying. So does she not do anything? She's a pageant girl. We know that. And I don't know. If you wasn't having no fun in college, Nicole, then shame on you. But apparently Ed was. And now he's an athlete. So I'm guessing like he's taking good care of his body and not like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. He said he came back there for his kids. I didn't hear anything like, was he married before? Are there multiple baby mothers? Or does the kids have the same parent? The same mother? Those are the questions I would want to know, Ed. I think he's in tech now, so clearly he's transitioned. He said he grew up poor, and his dad was involved in gang activity. but his mother kept him off the streets. I mean, and on to college, and he's an athlete. So good job to Ed's mom for keeping him on the right track. I mean, like I said, in college, that's when you're supposed to turn up. So I don't know, Nicole. How do you have fun? What determines a good girl? I'm just curious. I mean, don't fall into the category, so it doesn't matter. Um, Lauren and Vince have a conversation. Vince said he coming in confident and lighthearted. He goes to the gym for fun. He's a very jokey all the time. I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, he wouldn't be my type because it's giving goofy. And I'm not saying that he's goofy, but in that moment, like all that, jokes and stuff, I would get tired of that. Lauren likes it. She said she's getting a down to earth Chris Rock cool vibe. See, that's what I'm talking about. Chris Rock would not be my go-to comedian, but some people like him because, he's Chris Rock. So, yeah, Lauren, she's vibing with him. He's taller. So, in heels, like she still had him, but, she take them heels down a little bit and they be right there together. So he's the right height. I don't know. Is this a thing? We have to see. Because right now we just moving around, working the room, moving around. We don't really know who we like. Ashley and Devon. Yeah, I cannot stop thinking about Devon saying that he's a mote of dust, in a sunbeam, floating in the sunbeam. That was a lot for me. So I can't get that out of my head. But he's over here as a project manager at the University of Michigan. That sounds, he's a writer and he does all these things. It's just like the mote of dust. Come on, Devon. He's a little nerdy. Ashley does non-invasive body sculpting. She does luxury services. Non-invasive body sculpting is for women who got a lot of extra coin. Somebody like Dominique probably enjoys those types of services. Christina would like to. I'm not counting her pockets, but I feel like I don't know. I'll get to her. I'm not sure yet, Christina. I'm just saying. Ashley said that, if you ain't got no coins, you ain't gonna be able to date her. So she said that straight out. I'm not saying she's a gold digger, but if you broke, chances are, Ninja, she ain't really gonna be giving you the time of day. I don't know what a university project manager makes. I would say, if I'm guessing, 80 to 100, somewhere in that neighborhood. They have a conversation about animals. She says she has a Yorkie, and he says that he has rules for dogs. And she pretty much was like, I think she was done with him. When, she said no dogs on the bed. I have dogs. I have that same rule. My dog isn't even allowed in my room. He knows how to stop at the door and lay his ass there until I come out. I just don't want dog hair and all that stuff in my bedroom. So, he said he has allergies. These are things you talk about. That's not sexy, Devon. I'm just saying. You're over here talking about sniffling and watery eyes. And I'm joking, but I also feel like this is a really important conversation to have of when you get to know someone. I mean, straight out the gate. I need to know how you feel about animals because I have an animal. Remember when that girl Vanessa was over there trying to tell Chad she didn't know what she was going to do? We don't know what we're going to do with this dog. That's a problem. Girl, people love their animals. So I feel like it's a really important, conversation to have because if you hate animals and, I have pets, then it's going to be a problem. If you're the Yorkie mama, Devon, you don't make any rules. She makes the rules. And I have a feeling her little Yorkie goes, wherever she wants. Because she seems like she probably has bows and jewelries and purses and extra things that, dogs that those, types of people I only want, how those pretty girls, you probably have a purse with it. I'm not judging you, Ashley. I'm just visualizing you. You said, got to have money to date me, and I'm not mad at that. We're not, this is what it is over here. Based on her business, she seems like she makes a good coin her own self. So we're not playing around over here. If you don't have at least what I got, bring it to the table. You know what I'm saying? We like to talk about the table. Then, so have your standards by all means. I'm just saying, I feel like, she seems like one of those people that has her Yorkie like another little child in the house. He don't know the difference between fur and hair. Yorkies have hair. Yes, they're purse pooches. And Ashley is a prissy girl with eyelashes, fingernails, and lip gloss and things. So it don't match. It's okay, Devon. In his head, I don't know why he feels like they're compatible and they're going to be moving forward. And Ashley has already checked out. She says she doesn't like his mannerisms. She says they're feminine. I didn't see feminine mannerisms, but I did see, like, I feel like, and I'm saying this because it's an issue, I'm going to say Ashley, Dominique, and Ashante. Who else? Probably Emily. It's going to take a certain type of swag. You know what I'm saying? And so the mannerisms were not giving swag. They were like Darius. Darius is walking in with a certain type of swag. Y'all can say what you want to say. Darius is swag, and Steven is too. He just talks with his hands. Yeah, I feel like it's just, the lack of swag that's making him, and I don't know. I have to see. It wasn't giving feminine from what I could tell. It was giving nerdy, swagless. That's what it was giving. What's up, Ja Tony? He slid in here. What else, child? She was like, okay, well, that's cool. Let's just move around. I'm gonna go over here. And yeah, she was done with that. Darius is also moving around the room. He has 2 adult children. Darius is 40. So, I mean, that's another thing. Like when you're dealing with baby moms and things. Ed, how old are your children? Are they small children, or what's up with that? Darius's kids is grown, he says, so he's free to do whatever he wants to do. They say he look expensive. He probably is expensive. Aside from that hairline, I'm not gonna keep bringing it up, but it is what it is. Darius has a sit down with Ashante. So he liked her. He said he got her sketch on, she's on the list. He's got a list on his heart, apparently, and she's on it. Ashante she owns Salon Suites, and she's a vegan private chef. I used to rent a suite. So that's a hell of an investment. That's very dope. Because when you own the suites, that means the stylist can come in and you can have, it's not like running a salon. They're running their own salons. So you have to be there. You just the business runs itself. And she says she's still behind the chair, so she may have a suite in there where she has her few people that she deals with, and then she's out doing. And then a private chef, you're not out there having to deal with all the hustle and bustle in restaurants. People that eat vegan need somebody, I'm sure, to show them how to eat where it's not boring. So go ahead on, Ashante. And then she got your boy Darius over here. His kids are grown. They said they like to travel. She said she likes to go to Miami because it's easy to eat in Miami. I never thought about that. I feel like depending on where you go, it probably is hard to eat when you have restrictions. In Miami, definitely, or the Caribbean in general. Miami is not the Caribbean, but close enough. We getting out there. We getting out in the water, down at the bottom. She says she's a mom, so we don't know if she's the mom of a boy or a little girl, but Ashante is a parent. So yeah, I mean, she's only got one child, and her kid will either travel with her. I used to go everywhere with my mother. Went on a lot of vacations together. Or she has a support system, and she's free to, schedule whatever it is that she's doing in her grown woman life. Darius said he was raised in Germany, so I'm wondering if he was like military or, I don't know. That's usually what it is, when kids are over here raised in Germany. So he has a taste of a little something European, and that's different than, different than the United States. And I'm talking about like the lifestyle, the culture is different. I don't know what the food is like over there. They cheers, and he said cheers to love and business, and I said, I know that's right. I like your toast, Darius. Cheers to love and business, because regardless if we find love with one another over here at the Ford Pickett plant, you definitely find network of people who don't want Ashante at their lounge. Come on. And her friends. Darius, I know how this works. I'm not mad at it. And Ashante, who don't want to be like over at the lounge when you got to, have a little get together? Darius, can we see the lounge? I want to check it out. I want to check out Darius's lounge, and I want to check out Bravo's restaurant. Emily and Richie. I don't know. Richie seems young. We just finding out that he actually passed away. So how odd for him to not be here and this be airing, and the people that love him gotta whew. Anyway, over here with Richie and Emily, I feel like she just seems more mature. She is a little bit older than him, but still, like, he's still a little bit, he's a thrill seeker. So thrill seekers generally are out there like doing wild things. He's on motorcycles. He said he wanted to jump out of a plane. He's a tattoo artist. He's a free spirit. But Emily is not that. She's very like stiff and staunch. And I don't know if it's because her titties is wrapped up under her chin. But aside from that, maybe if she had on something a little more loosey-goosey, we could see her smile at least, because she's so serious, for goodness sake. It's supposed to be a good time, Emily. She is like dead on. Did I see her smile? I don't remember seeing her smile. If y'all seen her smile, then let me know, because I didn't see it. Oh, somebody sent you that. Yeah. I believe it was a motorcycle. She's talking about Richie. I need to know how many kids for these parents. Some just say kids. Yeah, well, I mean, we know Lauren has 3 very large children. We don't know if they're boys and girls, but we know that they're big kids. And then we've got Darius said he had 2 children. I think a lot of them have kids, honestly, but I guess that's something that you say. I don't know. I say I have 3 kids when I say I have kids. I don't say I have children. It sounds weird to leave the number off. Anyway, Emily was sitting over here with Richie telling him how she doesn't like to do anything. I was like, dang. He was over here. It's kind of weird because he was over here giving his best, like, up positive energy. And she's like, no, absolutely not. Won't be doing that. Okay. He said he wanted to leave. I don't blame him. And I just want her to stand up, because right now her boob is in her shoulder. Girl, you're going to be hearing that every time you show up that way. I skipped something. Who did I miss? Donna and Vince. This was an interesting match. They felt like they connected a little bit. Donna caught his eye with her extreme eye contact. I was like, is that supposed to be a compliment? He was like, man, you have extreme eye contact. Is that supposed to be funny? That's what I mean by giving goofy. Don't say that. Now I'm gonna think I was looking weird. I mean, she thought it was funny. So Donna's posture was irking you. Well, I mean, moving on. um, Donna says she sees the world through data and statistics. I can't relate. I'm an art person. Numbers make me uncomfortable. Unless I'm adding them with a dollar sign in front. Those are the only numbers I like. Um, she says she's analytical in how she sees relationships. I would like to hear more of that. I would like to understand what that means. How you're analytical in how you see a relationship. Donna says she'll find out what what the man is trying to hide. I believe it. That's why I said I want to know. I would like to hear more of that. This is a skill that I don't think I possess. So I would like, Donna, do you have a class on that? I'm not even kidding. Because I feel like, these are tools. Like I'm willing to take on all the tools I can use. So if I could get some mathematical tools on how to figure the thing out, then I'll take those. Um, she says, Donna says, in the past that she stayed in the wrong relationships too long. I think we've all done that. I think it's because you be trying to get a return on your investment. I feel like you've been there for a long time and you're thinking, I've put in so much time. This can't be not it. And she said in her 20s, and I think that's when you go through that. And then in your 30s, you kind of see things a little bit differently. Hopefully you change, your patterns and learn from your mistakes. Otherwise, then you out here, you know, running that same cycle you always do. Some people do that too. It seems like they're enjoying each other's conversation though. So at the end of the day, this might be something, we'll see. I don't think he's gonna save you in a zombie apocalypse. He said he was about to be running. He don't know if you can run, but he's sure he can run. Um, Cardi and Diamond. Diamond is an attorney. And Cardi is an insurance broker. Both of them need to see somebody about their hair. I don't know who did Cardi's hair. It's a hot mess. This ponytail thing, I don't know what he's doing over there. These braids ain't quite. Mm-mm. Donna is a cute girl. I did like that dress once I seen the whole dress. I did like her dress better than I did in the cast photo, but I don't like her hair. I already said that. It's just not it. Um Shannon. Um Shannon is a nurse. And when people say they're nurses, I just always think that they work a lot. Nurses work a lot. I feel like nurses are always saying they don't have time for relationships. She says she's single because she's been focused on her career. I mean, she's young. Maybe she should be focusing on her career. She said men don't like a go-getter. And I'm like, I think men don't like when your career interferes with their wants and needs. That's it. I don't know. And if that's the case, then she may want to not choose that guy. Maybe that's not the guy that is meant for you. Shannon is also a PK. Well, them PKs can be wild now. Shannon, are you faking the funk? We're gonna see. It wasn't Shannon that said she was a good girl. That was Nicole. Shannon says she was busy. So we'll see. Um, I don't know. This guy got nervous talking to her. So I don't know if it was a good conversation or not, because one minute he was doing perfectly fine, and then the next minute he was stammering and stammering, and she looked uncomfortable, standing there with him. Who else? Devin. Devin is feeling Shannon. Now that might be a better match because he's a books person and she's always studying. So that might be a better match, Devin. And she doesn't necessarily give that same thing, that same kind of swag that Ashley has. So it wouldn't surprise me if Devin and Shannon actually hit it off. Dominique and Vince are talking. This was so weird to me. So they're standing there talking. I forget who else was there. And he pointed out, oh, Bella was there. He pointed out her tattoos. She has her one shoulder out and her tattoo is exposed. Devin could get her a discount. Yeah, if they walk in matrimony to each other. Yeah, so he's noticing her tattoo. And her tattoo apparently was a cover up, but you could still see the name. So I would guess he was standing there, like, trying to figure out what to talk about. He's a little awkward too, that Vince. And it was just weird, like how it went on and on and on. Apparently, she dated Antonio Gates, who's a former NFL, and her ex-husband is Vashawn Leonard, an NBA player. So that's what I mean by Dominique is used to moving in a different caliber of dude. And Vince is not it. He got immediately uncomfortable and insecure about, her ex-husband and her ex-boyfriend. He carrying on a conversation about it. I'm like, man, let it go. What's up, Motown investor? This show makes you miss Detroit. It was definitely giving nostalgia. Where are we at? Yeah, this guy Vince was immediately intimidated by her ex, and so just let it go. I mean, it was like an irritating conversation. It's one thing to point it out, but then you wanted to like keep going and going and going, and she's like, "Bruh, I'm standing right here. Can you pay attention?" Steven and Ina. That's gonna be hard to say. I'm gonna have to think Christina every time before I say her name. But Steven and Ina, she's sitting here giving this man pointers on how to incorporate music in his classroom. Ina is very connected with the movers and shakers in Detroit. Now I know she know Brandon and Christina because she doesn't do everywhere she goes to eat. She normally knows the owner, and she doesn't do any types of general population things. She's very much like in the VIP and things. And she said, what did she say? She has a level of pretty that people aren't used to. Girl, look around the room. It's a level of pretty all around you. I don't know what you talk about. It's like there's pretty over here and pretty over here. These guys hit the jackpot when it came to good looking ladies. So that girl, when people say stuff like that, it makes me think they're insecure. I'm just saying. Steven said he in his chill era, he not out here trying to be in VIPs and things, stressing about that type of thing. These people are not a match. And I feel like, girl, you don't know who people know. People have access to, to VIP and access to all of that stuff based on, their network of people. And I don't feel no ways about, I don't have VIP expectations if I don't know anyone. I don't go anywhere expecting, either you pay for the VIP package or someone that's connected to whatever it is you're doing. But if I don't know anyone, I'm very fine just being regular. I can't not be in the general population. I don't know what she feels like that sounds like, but it don't sound good. And it doesn't sound good saying that this level of pretty. Girl, you in Detroit. Detroit, New York, Atlanta, Houston. It'd be pretty girls around there, girl. LA. Um, Chris. Chris and Emily. Chris is a chef. He's well established chef in Detroit. He said he's at a point now in his career where he can kind of be more flexible with his schedule, and that makes for starting a family. When you young and in your grind and you don't have time, you don't have time. And now he's well established and feels like he's financially and ready and has the time to put into a family. That's a blessing. Shoot. And it's very smart, like, to be able to plan it out that way instead of being out here talking about oops. Um, he said he worked hard early on. You would have to. Being a chef is very competitive. He said he's never been married before. So we got a fresh one, Emily. Emily says she was immersed in her work and she wasn't giving herself time to meet people. So that's why she decided to do this process. Emily and Chris actually had a kind of a connection. He said he admired people that, could make clothes or design clothes and such. So, and it's like, to me, two artists, being, a chef, food, that's an art, and her being a creative. So that was, yeah, I was kind of feeling that conversation between Chris and Emily. Lauren and Xavier. Xavier is 43. I think he's probably one of the oldest there, him and Darius. Xavier is a senior accountant executive. I mean, okay. He was giving a little staunchy, stiff, like he don't really, loosen up much. And then he got this lady over here asking him to spin around. She told him he looked nice. He had on, he did. She checking out his fit and everything. But that whole spin around thing, he wasn't giving spin around energy. When you look at Darius, over here flashy, he wants to spin around. This man doesn't look like he spins. And I don't know why. Now, if there was a guy in there going, you've been running through my mind all day, you would be saying, oh my God, he's been over here saying the same thing to all the ladies. You stop telling all these men to spin around. Did all y'all spin around for her? Or just Darius? She said, what did she say? She said she gonna be asking him a lot of questions. If he can't just spin around, then girl. If he asked you to spin around, if somebody asked me to spin around, like I said, I'm not doing it. So I don't think he had a bad attitude about it. He said, you gotta earn that. So, girl, do you want to earn it or not? He laughed at you because you sound silly asking everybody to spin around. Cardi and Shannon. Yeah, he was, like I said, he was very nervous talking to her. He seemed very comfortable talking to Diamond, and then he was really nervous talking to Shannon. Probably because she's pretty. Spinning around, it is disrespectful. And then it's the way she did it too. It's like, why you want the man to bitch up? She's like, give me a little spin. I'm gonna feel really uncomfortable doing that, Lauren. Don't try to handle me. I don't think what's her name? I don't think Shannon got the Cardi experience. He came out here like, I'm confident. I'm, got to get to know me because it's a whole Cardi experience over here. Well, you was a humming when this lady was standing there. You were like, so you said you were sweating your braids out. Elsa doesn't think it was disrespectful. I mean, I feel like he might have took it that way a little bit. He laughed it off, but I don't think he liked it. It's just the way she said it. She didn't say it in a sexy way. She was trying to handle him, like trying to make him bitch up and spin around. How many have Cardi experienced? It don't seem like don't seem like a lot. He has a kid too. Cardi does. I don't remember if he mentioned it or not. Is that it? Yeah, Tommy is back. They have their deliberation, and we get to find out who's on the top, who's on the bottom. You really can't like tell what's what because production be flim flamming us around. And you don't really know who's saying who's on the top, but what we do know is who's on the bottom. It's Dominique and Emily and Richie and Devon. I'm not surprised by any of these people here. Cardi's siblings are named after Jules. So what is Cardi then? That's not a Jewel, is it? They just skipped on his Jewel name. Dominique and Emily. Emily was walking around there not smiling, not being friendly. And I feel like that's why she was on the bottom. The only good conversation that we seen was with her and Chris. But she wasn't smiling. She was just, very serious all the time. Devon, I'm not surprised he's on the bottom either. Only person that I see him having a connection with really was Shannon. And we don't know that's, we don't know. We'll see. He ain't go nowhere this time. Richie, Richie is just to me a little immature, and I didn't see him matching with any of these ladies. He was sure surprised, and I'm like, well, you didn't know, you didn't connect with nobody, so what are you surprised about? You thought Xavier would be on the bottom? No, I feel like, if he wasn't this time, he probably will be coming up because that's what it seemed like based on what we saw. We don't know when that happens, but I didn't see, I didn't see any connection with him. I didn't see hear anybody say his name, but that's not on them. That's on production, not letting us see what was really said. It would be cool if we always coming back with different solutions. So y'all, thankfully, did not eliminate anybody just yet. People need to, move it around a little bit, spend more time with one another. I feel like Xavier may not be on the bottom because he's potentially, something. We'll see. We'll have dinner. The only person we've seen that he had a little off moment with was Lauren for asking him to spin around. So, yeah. Nobody's going home. So, yeah, we're glad about that. Dominique, I feel like she was in the bottom. Now, that surprised me that Dominique was in the bottom, but I feel like that she was in the bottom because these guys over here are intimidated by her past experiences. And they know that this lady's going to have certain expectations. She got a reputation already. So that whole, how men are with that she used to date athletes. And that doesn't mean she wants to. You know what I'm saying? She's got her own thing. She's a celebrity stylist. There's nothing about her saying that I only date athletes. So, we'll see. But I think it's going to take a certain kind of man, a confident man. She's, a baddie. So having her walk around without you not feeling insecure seems like Bello stepped up to the plate because when we see what's happening coming up, they had their mouth on each other, Bello and Dominique. But he said, if he is what he says he is, then I can see why that would be a match. And I feel like when I did my Meet the Cast, for whatever reason, I did mention that I thought Dominique and Bello might be a match. Who else did I have right? Oh, not the chef, Nicole and Edward. I didn't know they knew each other. I just thought their jobs and, lifestyle might make sense. I don't know now. I don't know. We'll have to see. I have to see how, because if he got swag and she don't, there's some swaggish girls over here. So I have to see how Edward behaves with other women before I just think, that him and Nicole might be a something. Listen. Get your votes together. Gather your team together. We know what it is over here. So if Edward is gathering his team together, why wouldn't you pick the person that has the biggest crush on the planet? I'm just saying. Ed didn't like her then, so why would he like her now? Because he said he's the new Ed. That's what he said. He's not the old Ed, he's the new Ed, the one that's not turning up in college. As if that's not where you're supposed to turn up. So I don't know, child. Um, you like all the choices of the men except Darius. I don't know. I like Darius. He would definitely not probably be my type just because I don't need all the flashy stuff, but I just, the personality. He's got them wooed. What can I say? Ed is a placeholder. She's Ed's placeholder. Well, he needs one. I'm not going to be mad at that. Get you a placeholder. Everybody needs a placeholder. Ed wants votes. Yes, get votes. Get votes. Team Ed, Team Darius, Team Steven. So yeah, that would be. Are we doing picks? Who's y'all's top pick for these gentlemen? Right now, I got them in front row. Top picks: Darius, Steven, Edward, Chris is impossible. For the women, Ashley, Dominique, Ashanti, Donna. I'm gonna add one more. Because if she can mathematically figure out relationships, I want to know how that works. Elsid, you like Cardi, Richie, Chris, Steven, and Vince? It's half the cast, Elsid? You said how many people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them? Ed is a tech consultant in Detroit. That's what I said. He's a tech consultant. He's a former athlete, so I'm sure he has connections. And this lady is a university lecturer and a former pageant. That's why I thought they would look good together, because they could go to things and talk to people. And, like Bello said, sit down at the table with athletes and politicians and forge your great friendships. Well, you only see two and a possible? What's your two and a possible? More various, more beautiful. Welcome to the chat. What is your two and your possible? We want to know. Yes, Ed was a boxer. I think it said former boxer. Yeah, because he was boxing. They was trying to see who's had a six pack. He was about to let the people know. All right, y'all. Any more various, more beautiful? Are you going to share with us who is your two and a possible? You love Lauren and Ashanti. I like Lauren. She just gonna have to stop telling people to spin me around. Ed and Steven, maybe this is not two and a possible. We're gonna need to call Donna because your math ain't mathing. You said Ed and Steven and maybe Darius and Bello. That's 4. That's not two and possible. So basically, nobody feeling Xavier, Vince, Elsa likes Cardi, Devon. Yeah, we don't know. I know what I like. So anyway, what did I say? Okay, so Darius was kissing. I thought it was Ashley, but it might be a curveball that got the same hair as Ashley. I don't think it was Ashley, but Darius was kissing her. And Dominique was kissing Bello. And Nicole was kissing Ed. But we figured that was gonna happen. Ed and who was it? Ed and Vince got into it. I want to know what that's all about. He told Ed he told Vince he talked too much. Not Ed, Darius. Darius and Vince. Yeah, they were all on a date somewhere at a restaurant, and Darius snapped on Vince because, I think he'd be funny. He's not very funny. Cardi and Richie look like younger Mr. El Cid with hair. You always want to pick somebody that look like Mr. El Cid. I would say Ed is probably very similar to my partner also, though. You know, you got to type, you got to type. Ed has an MBA that's rare in tech. See, Motown Investor did her research. Seems like Ed is looking better and better all the time. So we're gonna see, guys, next week. Um, I'll be here Sunday at 7 o'clock. Hopefully, y'all will be here. Bring your friends. You bring two friends, and we can do this every weekend. Before I get out of here, though, I did want to say, everybody, like, take a little bit of something down to your local food pantry. I feel like right now in these times, and I'm going to say over and over and over again, I'm grateful that my family has food in our refrigerator, but a lot of people don't. I see a lot of people joking, you know, everybody finds everything so funny, but it ain't funny when you can't feed your kids. So please get out there, you know, get organized. What do we need to do? Organize. Because what is they over there doing? They organizing. So we need to organize. I did see where some men in Detroit have organized to walk these kids from school since it's dark. Organize, because that's what the people are doing. So organize yourself some groceries to take down to the pantry so that we can look out for our community during, you know, a really rough time. Also, go to your local utility website, and there's a space there that you can donate money to fund assistance for like the electric bill and the water bill. There's going to be people out here struggling without work that don't know how they're going to find themselves. You need water, you need electricity, you need food. So, you know, $5, $10, whatever little bit you got, all that stuff adds up. You can go to your utility website. You can donate money to help, you know, people, you know, get through being out of work, keep the necessities at least. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to be sitting up here worried about having the lights off and no paycheck coming in. And the light company, they don't care. They will shut your shit off and you'll be sitting up there with no water and no electricity. So I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep talking about it. And yeah, I guess I'll end here.
Ain't nobody fucking with my click, 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 click. Ain't nobody fresher than my mom, click.